the double doink game? Do you guys remember this?
I am very well versed in the double doink game.
Yeah. I remember that game, Kyle. Do you?
We're gonna take a look at some games that we played in together, and we are going to discuss from our perspectives how things were going. Right?
This is the premise of the show.
This is the premise of the show. Games with names, guys.
I love
this
it.
This is the double doink game.
Yeah.
We want to get your inside perspective.
I'm happy to talk about it.
What's the first thought you have from that game? What's the first thing that comes in your mind?
Honestly, it was talking to your buddy, the lineman that was lined up for field goal block, because the way this thing went down was we drilled Trubisky on like a third down, backed up, and he hit this. It was a beautiful throw,
a floater over the middle of the field between the hashes,
and now they're set up to win the game. And our team's pretty good, but we weren't sure that we were going to beat the Bears. It was a really tough environment. They're lining up for a field goal. This game's about over. I think my career is pretty much over. And your guy across the line from me, I can't remember his name, was like, "Hey man, think about it. You'll be on vacation next week. It's all good." And he was really trying to cheer me up.
We need his name.
So let me give you mine.
10 seconds later, right? We're looking up at this thing floating and doinking again. And the thing I remember, and I'll never forget, was getting to the locker room and hearing from Trayvon Hester, who's an unheralded guy, unsigned cat. He was on special teams, that he tipped the ball. And none of us knew that. We thought Parkey is his name, right?
Yeah.
That he just plain shanked it. But Trayvon Hester got a hand on it, and we didn't learn until we got into the locker room. But by then, Parkey was already on the hit list of 10,000 Bears fans.
Unfortunately for Cody Parkey, he's going to be infamous in the city of Chicago because of the fact that, as we all know, fans are educated, but they aren't PhD educated in the situation. They're not going to understand the nuance of a tipped ball that doesn't go on the stat sheet. But in film, when you look at it on Monday, you're going to see it. We're all going to know.
He probably could have hit it more square, though. Probably true.
I mean, it's 43 yards in December in Chicago. It's a bitch,
It was 43?
43.
Yeah, it was a longer field goal. It was not.
I thought it was. I don't think it was 43. It was like 37.
Check it out. Google it.
Yeah, I mean, you could be.
Matt, check it out.
But you're expecting him to make that.
Well, I mean, at that point, we had put ourselves in position to win the game. It was 40. It was what?
It was that big country.
It was 43.
It was that big country ass dude that you play with. It was the country
Brad Sowell.
Brad Sowell was like,
so,
hey man, it's gonna be all right, man. You're gonna be on vacation next week.
You're gonna be in Turks and Caicos next week, big boy.
And I was like, I'm thinking the fucking mosquitoes. I have a lot of practice at going on vacation early for most of my career. So I mean,
that
vacation.
guy sounds like Will Ferrell in Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, Ashley fucking Schaefer.
What I remember vividly,
I sell fucking Kias.
What I remember vividly is a sense of guilt that I had because my teammate was taking a beating nationally in the media and locally in the media. And there were drives in that game as an offensive lineman where I didn't finish a block. I was, I let off. It wasn't a championship effort for whatever reason. There are plays that you always want to have back. Even in Super Bowl wins, Jules, there are plays that you wish you could have back.
Always.
Chris wishes he could have back. And unfortunately, that game happened to be a loss for me. And it happened because of the Parkey kick. But I know that there were 4-minute drives, opportunities to bury the Eagles, and we didn't take advantage.
Defensive battle.
Yes. Yeah.
First quarter. I mean, no real big highlights. You guys are just kind of going back and forth. There's a couple field goals here. Parkey actually, he made some decent field goals before the double doink.
Yeah.
So going into this thing,
he was 3 for 3, right? Right before that, I think.
He was nails. Yeah, it was 3 for 3.
Nobody talks about that.
No one talks about that. No one talks about that. You guys are 12-4 this year.
Because of the ending. No one talks about,
I know. It's the truth.
No one talks about what he had for breakfast.
He might have talked about it on Good Morning America, but, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, he did talk about it on Good Morning America.
Good Morning America.
I didn't watch.